to police officers is the best the city of Richmond can do. I promise to change that. I ask for your vote on November 3rd to restore Richmond to the safe and vibrant city we all know and love. I'm Mike Dickinson, and I paid for this ad.
In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, daily at 1 p.m. on WJFN 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and 820 AM as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we good? Welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. It's the leading daily social business enterprise show in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I'm glad to be here with you today. I appreciate you listening to the program. As I said, I don't work for the station. The views expressed here of mine have no connection to, support of, or agreement with any other host, advertising, or ads on the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis. The sounds you're listening to are coming from the Mike King Biz Studio, which is the global epicenter of social enterprise business. And we are coming to you from WJFN Radio, 100.7, 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. And so, just like to thank you for tuning in. Joining us as always is the super producer, the man on the wheels of steel, Al Green. And we can be reached by calling 804-778-8888. On the Mic with Mike highlights partnerships, people, social enterprise, business, and organizations of the day. We also like to say a big shout out and thank you to our show sponsor, Tom Childry, which is the credit card guy. If you have credit card merchant services, Tom Childry is the person who can handle it for you. Tom can be reached by calling 804-503-8472. Along the way, we have to pay bills around here. The microphone isn't free. So we'd like to thank you for taking a listen to our sponsors. They help us stay on the air. We have an outstanding show today, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, the program does get the best and the brightest. We have Scot McRoberts, the executive director of the Virginia Council of CEOs. We follow that up with Ryan Bolden, young man who is with the MBL Bridge, doing a lot of dynamite work out there in the community, leading other business owners. It's the next generation, so they're the bridge to that outstanding organization of MBL. We had the takeover dressed with Jenna Bush later today. And then we followed up with Amy Black of Amy Black Tattoo. Amy Black is a local tattoo artist, but she's doing a lot of work in the area of helping people who've had mastectomies. So we're going to talk to her a little bit. First up on the microphone, we have Scot McRoberts. Scott, welcome to the program, sir.
Hey, Mike. Great to be here.
Alrighty, so it's a rainy Thursday out there. Could you give our listeners an idea of your organization and what part it plays in the success for business owners and CEOs in the Richmond area?
Absolutely. So we started this organization about 20 years ago, specifically for small and mid-sized company CEOs, and it was really founded by a group of those folks. One in particular, a guy named Chuck McCabe, who came to my office. I was down at the Richmond Chamber of Commerce and said, "Hey, Scott, there's this thing called a peer roundtable, a CEO roundtable that I've experienced elsewhere that is not available here. We need to start that up." And I helped him a little bit, but Chuck really did the laboring oar of contacting dozens and dozens of small business CEOs and bringing them together. And we got off the ground, and I, got convinced to lead the chamber and lead it, and I've been growing it for 20 years now. We have about 230 CEOs as members from across Central Virginia primarily. And we're getting ready to have a big expansion to the rest of Virginia. But, the key thing is we're a purpose-driven organization. We're a not-for-profit association. So we're driven by that mission, which is to connect CEOs for learning and growth. And Mike, the primary way we do that is through these peer roundtables.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Scot McRoberts, the executive director of the Virginia Council of CEOs. When you look at out there, what is the number one need that CEOs tell you that they need during these difficult times?
They could use a little certainty. I mean,
I'm sure.
Couldn't we all? But you've got the increasing sort of political and social uncertainty and challenges going on in those realms. Maybe some political certainty will arrive next week. And then you've got the accompanying economic uncertainty. And, businesses really don't care if the economy's up or down. They just want to know what's coming.
Okay.
And they can take advantage of whatever the market deals. But one of the challenges I've heard about a lot over the past few years is just the herky-jerky nature of policy coming out of D.C., that there's, they don't know what to plan for in the next year or two.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Scot McRoberts is here with us. Scott, so you're all around the state. I'm in Richmond. We're based in Richmond. What's the mood, the temperature of business owners across this state, say the rural areas as opposed to Richmond and down in Tidewater area?
Yeah, I don't know that it's a lot different, but we do a quarterly survey of our CEO members in cooperation with the Robbins School of Business. And that survey 2 quarters back hit an all-time low at about, the index I think was negative 25 or so. The following quarter, which is about 3 months ago, it came back up into the teens or 20s. And then this past quarter survey, which just came out a week or so ago, we're up to, I think, in the 30s or 40s. In good times, that survey was up in the 80s or 90s. So it's heading in the right direction, Mike. But I think people are recognizing there's a long way to go. The climb back out of the ditch is slowed down a little bit.
Which industries would our listeners be shocked that has a real good prognosis, that the people are really enthusiastic?
Golly.
Or any? Wow.
Yeah. There are a lot of IT-related businesses that are doing very well in this market. There are some. There's a lot in the construction industry that are doing pretty well. I know we just moved and had some work done at our new house, and it was difficult to get materials and contractors in a timely manner because they're all so busy. I've found, regardless of industry, in a small business, it really comes down to the attitude and the ability of the business owner and the CEO and the approach. And I've seen 2 main approaches. One is, all right, we're facing a huge challenge, lots of uncertainty, lots of headwinds. Let's figure out how to make it through this, and let's maybe find some opportunity in this chaos. And the other is, pull back into your shell and weather the storm. And I would say the first is more likely to be successful than the second.
Going for broke, putting the pedal to the metal, going for opportunities.
Yeah, I had a panel of our CEOs a month or 2 ago were talking about their sort of pivot into the future, and some of them made gambles, spent a lot of money on marketing, and it paid off in some circumstances. Some of them changed their entire business model to adapt to the environment. But none of those people, all of 4 of whom are having good success, none of those people said, "Hey, let's draw back in and hope this passes over soon.
And for a lot of business owners, the natural inclination is to circle the wagons and pull back and try and wait for this thing to blow over.
Absolutely not. And, part of that is your competitor's probably not doing that, and they're going to take your market share.
That's true. So Scot McRoberts is here with us on the Mic with Mike, the leading daily business enterprise show in the Richmond area on JFN Radio 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. If you have any questions for Scot, he is the expert. He has his finger on the pulse of what's happening business-wise in the area. You could give us a call at 804-778-8888. So, Scot, give folks an idea of the size of businesses really that you guys work with, your members, from a size-wise as well as like from a dollar, I guess, a revenue standpoint.
Yeah. I describe them as CEOs of small and mid-sized companies, and our sort of starting point is at $1 million in revenue and 5 employees.
Okay.
So relatively small, and then I have CEOs who lead, a couple $100 million organizations with hundreds of employees. So it's all across that range, and we don't really serve public company CEOs. These are all privately held company CEOs.
And explain to the listeners, please, about the peer-to-peer, the roundtables, what people bring to that, what business owners get from it.
Sure. One of the characteristics of, or the situations of leading a small business is that it's a lonely kind of activity.
Yes,
you're surrounded by a team. You've got employees and customers and vendors and family and maybe a spouse, and none of them understands, what you do and the weight that's on your shoulders. So there's a huge sense of relief I hear from these CEOs when they join one of these peer groups, and all of a sudden, all these people doing the same thing I am, they get it, they understand. And the structure we use, and there's a number of organizations that do peer roundtables, our structure is really focused on the CEO. It's not a bring your numbers and margins to the table. Let's dig into your business processes. It's really about let's make you a better small business CEO. So we use a concept called Gestalt language protocol in these roundtables, which surprisingly means no advice. No one gives advice. Instead, they're asked to share experiences they've had that they think will help each other. So, for example, Mike, if you had a challenging employee and you brought that problem to the roundtable, instead of, hey, Mike, you need to fire that person, or hey, Mike, you need to use my HR consultant to figure that out. Instead, what you get is, hey, Mike, I had a similar situation a couple of years ago, and here's how I dealt with it. And, I spent 6 months and lots of money trying to get that person in the right spot. It didn't work. And so, Mike, now I fire fast. And so the difference in those engagements is you're receiving a lot more context and information, and people's stories about their experience are absolutely true and accurate. And advice is sometimes not so good.
That's an interesting concept. So I bring my problem or my situation to the group. They give me their history, their experience with it, and I take from it what I get from it.
Exactly. So another advantage is that advice comes with burden. Somebody you respect gives you advice, you sort of feel obligated to do something with it, right?
Yeah. And then when it doesn't work out, there's that uncomfortable time when they asked, how did it go?
Exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 1:20. Scot, can you hold on for a bit for us? We have to go away and pay some bills around here.
You bet.
We'll be back shortly. Thank you for holding on. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Hi everyone, it's Pavi Leitner, the CEO and founder of Finlit and your family's certified financial educator, dedicated to the financial success of you and your family. Are you not sure where to start with your finances? Or are you looking to sign your middle schooler up for our virtual camp? Book us at www.finlitva.com. That is www.finlitva.com. Finlit is creating a money-conscious community.
Chris Ship here with Focus Floors, and we are offering a free upgrade in any Bona water-based poly for any job that gets put on our schedule. You can reach us at focushardwoodflooring.com or just check us out on Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, Focus Floors 804, Instagram 80floors. Thank you.
Dessert Diva RVA. Specialty boutique with specialty products, providing custom experiences. Our dessert boutique is open on the weekends. Every dessert made from scratch. We also offer date nights and event decor. Dessert Diva RVA, the official home of Party in a Box.
Hi, my name is Daquan Woodbury, also known as Chef DQ. The restaurant industry is going through a hard time right now. With COVID-19, a lot of things are going on. Restaurants are shutting down. They might have to even close their doors for good. In the past few months, we've seen how life can change dramatically in a blink of an eye. Fortunately, I've created a system, a proven system, that allows restaurants to stay successful in this new way of life. As the owner of RVA Cafe, I would love to help you through these challenging times. Go to redindigofood.com for more information.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
Tune into On the Mic with Mike Election Day Special on WJFN. This is You Know Who, and that day you will hear spirited talk about if moving trucks will be needed to move my stuff. By the way, you know this message is sponsored by Mike King Biz.
Folks, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier daily business enterprise show in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King. Scott McRoberts, the Virginia Council of CEOs, is here. Scott, we also have Ryan Bolden. He's with the group, The Bridge. It's the junior board for MBL, correct? Yes, sir. All righty. He's here. He has a question or two for you.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. And I know you mentioned, having these circle groups and these roundtables. How do you continue to add value to your members? Because I think that's where we're at now with The Bridge. We're a coalition of eager young professionals and entrepreneurs in the metropolitan area who seek to advocate and support entrepreneurship for the millennial population. And it's just figuring out how to continuously add value to our members. And I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
A couple of things, Ryan. And first, I would say, particularly for young or new entrepreneurs, what they need more than anything is connection with other people and other experiences. Because just they haven't had those experiences. They haven't been around long enough, right? Golly, some sort of peer roundtable program would probably serve them really well. You can even do it. We do it in a way that has a group come together, 8 to 10 CEOs, and they meet once a month or so for perpetuity, for as long as it's positive, and usually it's 7 or 8 years in a group. But for your purposes, in a more fluid environment of young entrepreneurs, you could run roundtable groups, even just one time, and I'd love to help you with that. The other is I've found, particularly in Richmond where you guys operate, the business community is incredibly open to helping folks like that, and whatever they're interested in learning about or whatever resources they want to tap into, we can find the experience and the expertise to come to the table and help them learn and grow as young entrepreneurs.
I appreciate that, Scott. The next question I have for you was, we have a lot of professionals who are actually they're working for other companies right now and continuing to further their careers, but they're looking to make that leap to entrepreneurship and trying to figure out when is the best time to do that. And I guess I would just try to seek your advice on how do you manage that time, because of course people have bills to pay and different responsibilities, but if you're looking to make that transition, what is your advice on making that transition?
So I made that transition 20 years ago from my full-time gig at the Chamber to a part-time startup called Virginia Council of CEOs, and I had to fill in the gaps with some other activities and some other work, and I have no regrets for making that leap. I would tell you also, I've heard from a number of my members who run successful small and mid-sized companies now that they wish they'd done it sooner. And so I don't think I've heard from anyone that says, boy, I should have waited a couple of years. Yeah. And then I guess the final thing there is that now's the time. Golly, there's the last recession, so many of my members started their businesses coming out of the recession. There's the opportunity. I mean, there's you as a startup, you have lower barriers than a legacy company, and there's just opportunity to be found in disruption.
Alrighty, Scott, we'd like to thank you for joining. Let folks know how they can find you.
Yeah, our website is vaceos.org, and I'm on LinkedIn, Scott McRoberts, 1 T in Scott, just like the Scots, and be happy to connect and help out. And Ryan, let's connect later and see if I can help you a little bit.
Yes, sir. I'll definitely reach out. Thank you.
All right, Scott, we'd like to thank you for coming on the program. If any of your we'd love to have some of your member organizations come on and highlight them as we go along. So I'll connect with you, and we can, give them some time and tell their stories. We're all about telling stories here, and appreciate your time.
That'd be terrific. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thanks, take care. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott McRoberts of the Virginia Council of CEOs. Next up, we have the Takeover Dressed with Jenna Bush. She, as always, has great conversation, helping us be stylish and live easier and better. After that, my man Ryan Bolden is still here with us. We're going to be interviewing him now, but he was sitting up there in a chair, figured might as well get down and come on the program.
Thank you.
So now we're going to hear his story after the Takeover Dress, and then we're going to finish that up with Amy Black. Like I said, he's doing some outstanding work, tattoo work, with folks who've had mastectomies, as well as just doing regular tattoo work. On the Mic with Mike, we'll be back on the other side. Thanks now. Take care.
Hi, I'm Kim Gray, a member of Richmond City Council. I'm running for mayor of Richmond. I'm the only candidate running for mayor with the